Welcome to the first GTV Radio and podcast episode. My name is Zaki, and I'm joined with Stormy and Hope today. And I'm also joined with our guest, Mr. Duell. Say hi, Mr. Duell.
Hello.
Say hi, Stormy.
Hi.
And say hi, Hope.
Hi.
Okay, so we're all here and present today because we're going to be recording some stuff because Mr. Sapp said to start recording some stuff. So here we are.
That's the perfect reason to do it.
Exactly. In this episode, we're going to include news and sports and the main point of today's podcast, Mr. Duell. So we're going to start off with some questions that Raymond so kindly wrote us. So, Mr. Duell, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. My name is Josh Duell. I am the coordinator of alternative education for Goshen Schools, which means anybody that has chosen not to function in traditional school environments would work with us. And I am a father of 5. I'm married. Yeah, all of my kids, 4 of my kids are graduates of Goshen, and I have a junior this year at Goshen. So, yeah, I have 3 dogs. One of them is a French bulldog. His name is Hugo. Victor Hugo is his full name, named after the French writer, just so everybody knows. And
What about the other 2 dogs?
they are amazing, Dasher and Cinder. I didn't name them, otherwise they would have had literary names, just so you know. Yeah. So that's a little bit about me. I love my job. I am a family guy, and I love the town of Goshen. Yeah.
Okay, the second question was, what's your job? But you already answered that.
I already answered that question. My bad.
Do you think that it was a good idea to make Chandler a part of GHS and do all of this stuff?
That is an outstanding question, Zachy. I would love to be able to say that we could have kept this as an elementary school, but because that wasn't really viable for Goshen, I think this was a very logical and good choice. I think the programs that are coming in here, in particular programs like GTV and the Building Trades program, are super important for Goshen High School and the community of Goshen as far as preparing people for career opportunities. And some of the programs they're talking about coming in will be also just wonderful additions to what this building can mean. And obviously, as the coordinator of alternative education, it's a place that we can call our forever home because we've done a bit of moving the last couple years. So we are absolutely in love with the space as far as our program goes. So I can selfishly say I think it's just great and I love it, but I understand how it was hard on the community that the elementary school went away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Hope, you have the next question.
Can you share your thoughts on creating a healthy work-life balance for teachers and staff?
Oh man, that is a difficult one because education it's a calling that is not an easy calling. It occupies a lot of time because not only does a teacher prepare their class and what they do for their classes and the work that it takes just to be a good teacher, they also are called to this job because they love kids and they want to see kids be successful. So carrying the emotion of the lives that we interact with every day makes the balance very hard. Because when I walk out the door every day, not only am I thinking about what I have to do the next day, but I'm thinking about my students and some of the things, the stories that I've heard throughout the day and some of the pains that they're in and some of the successes that they're feeling. And so it goes home with me, and I go home and I talk about my job and I discuss things with my wife and I talk about school with the kids. So the balance, I understand how it's very difficult, but I would also say that you just have to at some point in time say, when I walk out that door, I'm important too, and I need to take care of myself, and I need to tend to my needs, and whether that's just going home to a family and disconnecting, or um, spending time with friends. You just have to, when you walk out the door, even if you're thinking about the next day, say, this is my time, and then say, I'm willing to give this much, and then I have to take back the rest from me. So
I love that.
Sounds
it's a
personal.
lot. That's a big question that you just asked, kiddo. That was huge.
Okay, you go, Stormy.
Okay, so what inspired you to become principal, and what do you enjoy most about the role?
Oh, I started my education career in special education, and so I was really engaged in a lot of like the behind the scenes paperwork and things like that like I wanted to beat my head against the wall at times because it was just really a lot.
Sounds like it.
And as I transitioned into alternative education, and I thought in my, like every day I was going in and out of my job and thinking, well, what could we do to make this better? What could we do to make this space more efficient for kids, more welcoming for kids? When a student walks in the door, how can we make that student feel loved and valued? And just through that constant thinking that I was having, I actually had one of the central office people say to me, hey, you talk about all this stuff all the time, so would you ever think about moving into the leadership role? And that really sent my brain reeling, and that's when to answer that question, that's when that first came about. Like, this is something, if I'm going to talk about all this stuff, I better put up or shut up. And so I decided to dive in. And so 2 years ago, I started in this role. And
Nice.
so it's been a lot of fun, exhausting and a lot of fun.
Okay,
Awesome.
Nice.
cool. Let's see. Next question. What is the hardest part of your job?
Zachy, that's another, man, you guys are really hitting me with some tough ones here.
President
The
Raymond.
hardest part of my job is probably the discipline part, like having to be the voice when a student makes a choice they shouldn't make in the school, having to pull that student into my office and look them in the eyes and say, ask questions like, why was that the choice? Why would you choose to do that at school? And to see some of the hurt that exists in their lives that I think led to the choices that they made. And so I think that part of it is seeing kind of the hurt that I see in a lot of the kids that we work with, and it takes an emotional toll on a leader. So
Well, let's see. Hope you have the next question.
How do you make decisions that impact the school and its community?
oh boy, Hope, geez, oh Pete. So whenever we're making decisions, we have three things in mind. These are called our core beliefs. And so the first one is simply this. How does this help us further relationship with the students that we work with? How does this communicate value to those students? The next thing we ask is, will this thing that we're trying lead to success for our students? And when we see that relationship built, that student feels valuable, they feel successful, that third part is we're going to set goals that maybe students haven't been able to that students haven't been able to look toward, like graduation. We have a lot of students that come in and that are really far behind, and they don't even have the goal of graduation. But if we can build that relationship, one, if we can help them find success, two, that success breeds really cool things. And then we start setting goals and then all of a sudden we got kiddos that are thinking, I'm going to graduate from high school. And that changes the whole approach. And so everything that we do when we're making decisions as a staff, is this decision going to help us in that process? Is it going to help us build a relationship? Is it going to help us find success? Is it going to lead to students graduating from high school?
Yep.
And so as long as it fits in there, we will try absolutely anything to help the kiddos.
Just kind of gives them a foundation.
Absolutely. And that's something that, like, schools have been trying super hard with a lot of the kiddos, but there are some things in the lives of teenagers nowadays, anxiety and just the stress of life, and COVID really did a number. But there are things that are kind of getting in the way of that, and we got to help kids get past those things that are getting in the way.
Yeah.
In particular, anxiety, depression, some of the mental health struggles.
Yeah.
Okay, let me next.
What are some short and long-term goals?
Yeah, so we set goals every year. This year, a real practical goal that we had was we wanted to, there's 3 different types of graduation diplomas. So there's the general diploma, core 40 diploma, and academic honors diploma. A lot of our kids graduate with a general diploma, which is fine. They can still go to community college and things like that. But we're trying to increase the number of core 40 diplomas that we're giving out. So that's a real practical goal. But long-term goals that we have would simply be to continue to deepen the space that we have as far as when a student walks in the door, their thought, they cannot ignore the fact that they will feel loved when that door opens by the person that's greeting them, my administrative assistant that's greeting them at the door. If I'm there, the signage that they see, announcements that they're hearing, celebrations that we have, everything, our constant goal is how do we deepen that, so when a student walks out of here, that's a forever relationship we get to have with them. We have kids come back all the time and tell us about life and some of the successes they gained because they got to be part of this program. So
Nice.
Yeah,
No-
that's
oh.
cool,
Sorry.
Well, there's some nice goals, pretty attainable ones, Next question. What does a typical day for you look like?
oh man, that administration, just so you guys, if you're ever thinking about going into schoolwork and being an administrator, there's just legitimately, there are a lot of meetings that you have to go to. There's weekly meetings that you have to go to, planning meetings, and you have to think about money. You have to think about all these different things. So there's a lot of meetings that I take part in, but then there's a lot of just the management of the day. So if we have students that aren't finding a ton of success, I've got to meet with their parents and try and figure out ways, create a new plan to help them find success. I've got to have individual meetings with students. I have meetings with my teachers, making sure that we're all on the same page. So it's a lot of
Meetings.
it's a lot of meetings, but
So
it's
many meetings.
but it's also a lot of for me, sometimes you go into a meeting and you're like, it's just a meeting. But the meetings that I try to engage myself in most are the meetings that are relationship oriented. So when I go into a meeting with a parent, I want to celebrate that student, first of all, and then we talk about the plan that we're going to put in place to help that student be more successful. When I have a meeting with my teachers, it is my opportunity to invest in them and say, thank you for everything that you do. You are amazing at what you do. So there's always a relationship component. When a student comes into my office, the first thing that we get to do is talk about how great they are, So yes, there's meetings, but there's got to be purpose in the things that we do. And if value and love isn't the best purpose to have a meeting, then I don't want those meetings. So I want the good meetings.
The good meetings,
Yes.
Okay.
Do you guys ever intend to use more of the space that we have?
Yeah, so that is so I think in the next few years, I think this entire building is going to be occupied with something or other, yes. There's some really exciting stuff coming in that I'm not allowed to talk about yet, but
It's confidential.
yeah, but I think eventually this entire space will be occupied with something. We stole a room upstairs, just so you guys know. Like we do Celebration Fridays, and we're setting up a
Celebration
game
Friday.
room. Bam, it's so awesome. I brought
we
a
be in
vintage
that?
PlayStation 2 in, and we're gonna do some just old school games and
Nice.
card games and different things. And so if a student's been there all week and they show up like the last hour of the day, we're gonna go up and play games and things just for the fun of it. So I already stole a room upstairs. So
Nice. It kind of also gives the student kind of at least from my perspective, it kind of gives the student more incentive to stay at school.
yeah, I mean that's the hope. That is the hope.
Yeah. Plus,
Yeah.
there is a bunch of rooms. GTV has 2 rooms. There's a room that's just filled with desks, and then I think Mr. Sapp said there's one that's filled with chairs, and there's a bunch of rooms filled with a bunch of random
Yeah.
things. It's kind of whack. It's like those show. I don't know. It's like this kids show, right? Okay, I'm getting off topic, right?
Go for
I'm
it.
so confused.
Come on, Zachy, let's hear it.
There's this PBS Kids show called Odd Squad, right?
Oh my
And
god.
it revolves about it's like a bunch of little kids, and they're like the FBI, and they solve a bunch of whack problems, right? And they have this like hallway filled with a bunch of rooms, but these rooms are like rooms filled with a bunch of random objects. Like there's a basketball room, there's a cake room,
Yeah.
there's a donut room.
I'd love to have a cake room.
We should have a
just
cake
saying.
room.
That would be so awesome.
And the biggest empty space, it's like post-apocalyptic upstairs. Where the big glass is,
Yeah.
and all that. It kind of looks post-apocalyptic when I walk in there. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
there's no one here, even though it looks like someone.
It feels
should be
weird
here.
because it's so empty. That's true. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That room is going to get filled up this next year, I think. so,
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you know with what? Are you able
I
to
cannot
share?
tell
It's
you.
confidential, guys. It's confidential.
Confidential.
No.
Okay. Stormy, you got the next one.
All right. What was the main reason for adding the building?
Yeah. So we've had access to different career centers like the Elkhart County Career Center. There's a career center in with the Wawasee system. We have access to some programs at Fairfield, but we keep sending kids to other schools to receive training. And so I think a lot of the thinking was, why aren't we doing that ourselves when we have a space that we can start a building trades program, or
Yeah.
we can expand our building trades program, where we can expand our audiovisual program, where we can expand and start to incorporate other things, which also allowed us to have more space at the high school to expand programs that they had. So I think the idea was, why aren't we creating our own opportunities so we don't have to travel and things, and we can just do that here? So I think that was a lot of the thinking. There's some financial pieces in that too that are super important as well, as far as making sure that we can pay our teachers and things like that. But
Yeah.
I think that was the thinking in it.
Nice.
Just DIY. Why would you
Exactly,
send kids
I
to
love
other
that.
schools?
Yeah.
Just make your own.
Yeah, just make your own building trades thing. Okay. Our next question is, what are some of your hobbies outside of school?
Oh, man. So right now, this may lead to some disappointment in me, but when October rolls around, when fall break comes, I begin my Hallmark Christmas movie watching.
Oh my gosh.
And I watch 3 to 5 Hallmark Christmas movies every week until Christmas. So that's my most time-consuming hobby at this point in time. I'm also an avid soccer watcher, so that's a big part of it for me. So those are the things that all my hobbies kind of are me sitting on a couch. I probably should find a more active hobby, but right now, those are the two things that I find myself most drawn to. I have an active family, so my wife and I like to do things as well, but I'm not going to talk about them on the podcast. We'll antique, and that's a really boring thing to talk about, so I'm not going to talk about antiquing.
Going antiquing is kind of fun, honestly, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, my wife's really good at it. So,
Nice.
yeah, she
What's
finds
your-
these cool things. She's like, hey, would this look good in the house? I'm like, I have no idea. And then it looks really good in our house. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Really? What's your favorite Hallmark Christmas movie?
Oh, I just recently watched one that I thought was super funny. It's called Haul Out the Holly. If you get a chance, check it out. I think it's just funny. It doesn't take itself seriously. It's really obnoxiously. It's written by Andy Samberg, and it's funny.
What did you say it was called? Sorry, I'm Googling
Haul
it.
Out the Holly.
Haul
Haul Out
out
the
the
Holly.
Holly.
Yeah, we're doing Hallmark Christmas movies right now.
Oh, hi, Mr. Sad.
Hi, Mr. Sapp.
We gotta be on the bus in 11 minutes.
Okay, that's cool.
Already?
Yep, I know.
Yeah, I hear.
That's right. It's so great.
Here, let me read the little thing. Emily comes home to visit her parents, only to discover they're leaving for a trip of their own. While staying at their house for the holidays, Emily meets members of the community who want her to join the neighborhood festivities. Wow. It's going to be on TV Wednesday, November 15th at 8 p.m. on the
Saying
Hallmark
you,
channel.
you won't
guys.
regret it. It's wonderful.
So, guys, it happens to be Wednesday, November 15th at 8 p.m. Go ahead and check out the Hallmark channel so you can watch.
Oh, it has that
the
one
whole-
lady in it.
Which one lady?
Melissa Peterman. She's in like a ton of movies,
Here,
at least I
let's see.
think.
It has Lacey Chabert, who's been in 31 Hallmark movies. Just so you know.
Seriously?
Hallmark movies.
Hey, that sounded a little judgy when you said seriously. I'm just saying.
No, I wasn't trying to be judgy. Like, well, cause like I backed out of it on accident, and then like my brain was like focused on trying to research it, and then like, yeah, no, I wasn't trying to be judgmental. I was just like,
Yeah, I know.
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, let's see. What else? What other questions? What else, guys? Nothing. What's your favorite soccer team?
Oh, great. I'm a Newcastle United fan. They're
Oh,
from the
Newcastle.
north side of England, Tyneside. Away the lads. They are 6th in the Premier League right now, and they're making their way up. It's going to be
Nice.
good. Yeah.
And your favorite national team?
Well, I mean, you got to follow United States men, right? You have to follow them, and the United States women are amazing. This is a wicked World Cup for us, this last one, but I don't follow the MLS too much. Mostly, I'm pretty stuck to the Premier League, which is in England, and yeah, I cheer for Newcastle and everybody that plays Manchester United. So those
Nice.
are, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
I feel like you would be like, do you watch like American football and stuff?
I only recently have watched it because I have a cousin that plays for the Detroit Lions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
That's really
so,
cool.
Wait, who is he?
His name's Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh,
My brother would probably know him. He's
Yeah,
like
I don't-
a
like-
NFL fanatic. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
no,
people are
he's-
listening to this
he's
right
pretty
now,
good.
and they're like, holy crap.
But so I really only watch American football to follow him, and so basically just the Lions.
So I'm assuming your favorite team is the Lions.
At this point, well, yeah, I mean, yes, that's true.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Aiden Joseph Bernardi Hutchinson is an American football defensive end for the Detroit Lions of the National Football League. Here, let's see his latest clip, guys. Hold up.
That is him.
I'm getting an ad. Hold up.
He's 6'7", 270
Holy
pounds. Yeah,
crap, he's tall.
yeah.
Here.
He's an entire foot taller than me. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's actually, I guess I should put a disclaimer. His dad is my cousin. So he's my
Second cousin.
Well, I think it's called cousin once removed. So is I think the proper term for it, but yeah.
I was talking with my dad the other day, or no, it was yesterday, last night. I think one of his cousins was elected for something or another. And I was like, so is her husband like your 12th cousin, 3 times removed, whatever? Because cousins are so confusing to me.
Oh, yes, yes. So I think my kids would be his second cousin, whilst I'm cousin once removed. I think that's the proper, I think.
I have no clue.
Yeah, right?
I don't know.
We're not going to investigate that anyway.
I'll research it later.
Yeah, right?
Okay, I guess. Let's see. Do I just say what's gonna happen and then we just put it in later?
Yeah.
Oh, up.
Yeah.
So do you have Thanksgiving with them?
Oh,
With
yeah.
my cousin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not this year. We spent some time with them this summer. We had a family reunion.
Nice.
Spent time with them, and yeah, it was nice. I have an enormous family, number of people as well as, I'm little in my family, just so you know. And
Wow.
yeah, I have 4 cousins that are 6'5" or taller,
Oh my
and
gosh.
yeah, so
That's crazy.
yeah,
crazy.
it's just a really huge family, but
That's so
we get
tall.
together and just have a lot of fun. It's a real connected family. So
Okay. Uh, Thank you, Mr. Duel.
Yeah.
That's all from you. Up next, you're gonna listen to your announcements right now.
I'm Hope, and welcome to Announcements. The Goshen community recently held a successful trunk or treat event expressing gratitude to all attendees. The Goshen Public Library is hosting various November teen programs featuring activities like the Read That Book Club discussing The Haunting. On November 27th, Teen Cafe sessions every Thursday, and take and make kits for crafting popsicle stick lanterns. Additionally, an interview with Emily Stuckey, the Teen Services Librarian, will shed more light on these teen programs. Furthermore, the Goshen High School Drama Club presents The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, a collection of 4 similar shows, each with its own Sherlock and Watson performance on November 17th, 18th, and 19th. The Goshen Crimson Marching Band secured 8th place at the 50th anniversary ISMA State Finals, held on October 28th, competing with the top brands in Indiana at the Lucas Oil Stadium. That's it for announcements. Back to Zaki.
Welcome back from your guys' announcements. Now on to sports.
I'm Hope, and welcome to sports. On Thursday, November 2nd, the Goshen varsity girls basketball team lost their game against South Bend Washington High School by a score of 30-67. Joe Holtzletter scoring 8 points, Ava Yorty scoring 7 points, Kyra Hill with 9 rebounds. On Thursday, November 2nd, the Goshen JV girls basketball team lost their game against South Bend Washington by a score of 19-51. On Saturday, November 4th, the Goshen varsity girls basketball team won their game against LaPorte by a score of 51-32. Kyra Hill scoring 25 points and 11 rebounds, Joe Hostetler scoring 9 points. On Tuesday, November 2nd, the Goshen varsity girls basketball team won their game again against Lakeland High School by a score of 52-28. Joe Hostetler scoring 19 points, Kyra Hill scoring 16 points. On Saturday, November 4th, the Goshen JV girls basketball team won their game against LaPorte High School by scoring 28-26. Now on the track. Doran Diaz has now ran the fastest time for any GHS cross-country runner. Doran placed 41st at state with a time of 15:52. Lincoln Clark ran 16:35, only a few seconds off his personal best. Lincoln finished 163rd in the strongest state race to date. Cassie Ortega now has the fastest time for the girls. She placed 67th with a time of 19:03, also her personal best time against a very fast field of runners.
That's all for this episode of GTV Podcast and Radio, or it's GTV Radio and Podcast. I don't know which order it is.
GTV podcast, whatever. We'll figure out a name.
If you enjoyed this, make sure to like or whatever on whatever platform you're on. I think this is gonna be on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. Well, not Apple Music because this isn't a song, but Apple Podcasts, all that fancy schmancy stuff. So I don't know, share this to people or whatever, and click whatever buttons they want you to click. If you enjoyed, you can check us out on YouTube. I think it's GTV Goshen, or no, it's GHS GTV.
Yep.
And our Instagram is GTV_Goshen. And you can check out more content. You can check out clips. You can check out a bunch of fancy schmancy stuff. So that's all for today, and we'll see you next time on the other side of reality. Okay, bye.
Okay.